Good morning, folks. We are Monday, kicking off our 26th week of our New Testament of the year. We're finishing up the book of Colossians with Colossians chapter 4 this morning. And Colossians, just a short 4-chapter book, really the focus on growing in your Christian maturity and living out your faith. And Paul concludes with some good challenges, and he asks the Colossians to pray, to continue steadfastly in prayer, being watchful, so always being on alert. As we recall, the challenge against false teaching would kind of tie into this again, to be watchful against the false teachers. And Paul wants them to pray for them, pray for him, and that God would grant him an open door for the word to declare Christ, and that he would make it clear how he speaks. And then the main section, I believe, in this chapter is for verses 5 and 6. Paul calls the Colossians to walk in wisdom towards outsiders, making the best use of the time. Let your speech also be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. So this wisdom on how to speak, and Paul was praying for wisdom, asking for wisdom for himself, how best to speak and interact and to share Christ and opportunities to talk about Christ. And our words deeply matter. And in verse 6, Paul is challenging all of us that our speech should be full of grace. Harsh, bitter words that cause disunity, that is not how we are to speak. So seasoned, or full of grace, seasoned with salt. That's an interesting term or phrase that Paul uses. And you think about salt, and as a seasoning, it brings flavor, it enhances the taste, it preserves. As a seasoning, it preserves as well. So likewise, our words should be used to enhance the conversation, or to help bring something that's more permanent to the conversation. And I also believe that seasoned with salt would talk about seasoned with the truth, that we should share encouragement and share exhortation, and help use the one another's of Scripture, and also to talk about the truth, to talk about Jesus with people. And it says that so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. So knowing how to answer, wisdom on how to answer is critical. So our speech matters a lot. And then Paul concludes the book talking about a lot of people, about Tychicus, Onesimus, Erastus, Mark, Justus, Epaphras, Luke. So just a whole lot of people, and telling them to share this letter with the Laodiceans. So, that wraps up Colossians, and the focus again on this section was to pray and to really focus on our words. The words that we use should build one another up, as opposed to our easy tendency to use words to tear each other down. So reflect on how you use words. Are they used, are you gracious and kind with your words? Are they seasoned with salt, used to enhance someone's life or enhance a conversation? And then wisdom on how to reply and respond to people. So just a great reminder on how to live out our faith with our words. So tomorrow we will get into, I believe, Philemon. I don't have my list with me, but I believe it's Philemon. It's just a one-chapter one chapter book. So we will hit that tomorrow. I pray God's blessings on you as you think about His Word and reflect, and certainly let me know if you have questions or what you're learning, and just pray for wisdom on how to use your words in a gracious manner, seasoned with salt, so you know how to respond. So God bless. We'll see you on here tomorrow.